everybody. Welcome to the collective live stream. I am Fedra. We're gonna light some incense. Normally I don't show my prayers, but since we have been running on a tight schedule today, it's been a very, very hectic day, but I am very, very happy about it. You know, in Aquarius, it's about the identity. It's about the truest form of you. And I am very happy to say that in this new timeline in 2025, I have made such strides and accomplishments, not only for the last 6 months being consistent with this channel and this channel growing thanks to not only everyone who's watching, but to my very good friend, Michael Undas. You know, he does all the behind the scenes work with me as you see this channel progress, and I could not do it without him. Today, he has been visiting for the last 10 days here in Tampa. We met in college in Chicago, and we just did an open mic. It was my, this was actually my first paid gig today. We got a little bit of cash today. It was the first time this year, and it's just another stride in being not only a musician, but also doing tarot, also doing Reiki, and balancing that out and being in my truth. So yesterday, I did a sound healing session live with a few artists and musicians. So before we begin in doing the collective reading today, I'm gonna now just ring in this bowl just for a second. It's not only going to clear the energy through it with the intention and the frequency, but it's also for us to get in, check into us, check into our breath, maybe set an intention for what you would like for this collective reading today. It is for everyone. It is for everyone watching. If you are watching, this is for you. It has come in to bring in you truth on the full moon today. If it's not for you, check out. Thank you for watching. But stay tuned and stay in if it really resonates to you. Let me see on, sometimes it is better when I have it in, there we are. Can you guys do it with me real quick? Like you're kind of yawning. So if you didn't catch the sound healing last night, it was for the 8-8. It was just a very abundant day. Astrologically, we are going through a lot of shifts and retrogrades. We're finally finishing up Mercury in retrograde on the 10th. I don't know about for you, but for me, it's been a roller coaster of feelings, of frustration, you know, trying to, you know, do things in a timely manner, really showing up for me in a lot of different ways. So I'm sure it has for you. But in this healing that we did, there was Keith, who played beautiful flutes. We had Stephanie on vocals and drums. Michael was also on drums and other forms of percussion, and myself did some sound bowls and some singing. We did it for about an hour. Again, donations are appreciated there, but it's really for you all to take in and enjoy that energy. So it's in my channel, so please like and subscribe if you'd like to watch that. So through these retrogrades, right, a lot of things are passing through and into this full moon. As you will all know, in a full moon, it's all about release. There's a lot of tension, you know, in the air when it's a full moon rather than a new moon. So think about all the things that have just not been working in your identity, because we're going into Aquarius. Aquarius is about what does it mean to be human? How do you identify? How do you identify in your work? How do you identify at home, your partnerships, your relationships, all of that? Is there things that need to be cleared out and end? Do you need to have a makeover, whether that's being, you know, visually, or is there a makeover in your home? All of these things kind of are happening in this full moon right now. So I'm gonna first start with the new deck that I got for myself, for my treat myself. It's Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck. Really like it. It gives you kind of like a little bit of homework, but I love that it always leaves you with a question so that you can really reflect. Again, these are our collective readings. This is only insight and clarity into your life. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's not always going to be for you. You know, but I think that there's some truth in all things, and you can just take the little tidbits that do. Okay, first one is definitely something I've been complaining about, which I'm sure you all have too, which is, am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up in my life? Put a like or a heart or something if you can relate. Can you guys relate on that? Is everybody getting a full 8 hours of sleep? I totally want to believe you. This body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling, how much sleep you are getting, and what you can do to help your body rest. Take a bath, put on some lavender essential oil, my favorite, oh my God. Go to bed ridiculously early. Or give yourself a timeout today. Notice your body thanking you. Okay, today's mantra. Are you guys ready? The more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. Let's say it once again, people. The more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. So I'm definitely relating to this right now because I could totally go to sleep right now. But there's so much that I want to do, and nothing makes me happier than being in spirit, right? And speaking the truth, doing the good work that I'm doing right now to you all by providing this insight and clarity on the full moon. And then of course singing. Singing and letting out my voice, letting myself to express, you know, being with one of the greatest friends that has ever supported me is now here. I mean, I didn't see him for like 2 years now. Like, sure, we FaceTime and talk, but nothing is like in person hanging out, right? So you always feel fruitful when you have the people around you, and you don't want to miss that. So you always have that kind of fear of missing out, right? FOMO is what the cool kids call it. But we do need to honor ourselves and take that time and breathe. Love you too, Michael. Okay. Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? Ooh, that's a good one. Are we? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. Ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? Okay, so during this moon cycle, that's something to think about, right? How can you contribute, your gift day by day and opening up to it? Something that you know that you're like really, 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 really good at. Like it's a skill that you're really, really good at, but you don't think about it a lot. Like you just like, whew. You're just like, time went by and no problem. I think those are the superpowers, right? What am I grateful for right now? I have a lot to be grateful for. Recently, I was having car trouble and a friend of mine helped me through it, and it was literally a faulty battery. But oh my gosh, nothing is worse than car trouble, right? When you start to like ponder about like, what is it? What's the issue? And I mean, Michael, oh my God, like again, I mean, just doing all these open mics and inspiring me to get out there. I mean, no joke, I got on my guitar and I played 2 songs and I did just fine. But in my head, I'm like, oh man, I have to be perfect. Oh man, I can't mess this up. Oh man, do I know all the lyrics? And it's like, bruh. And like, we had this like little moment where he was just like doing his thing on the keys and I was playing on my guitar and we kind of looked at each other and he gave me like this check-in nod, like, yeah, you're doing it. Like, that's the best. That's the best. That's what I'm grateful for, is that encouragement. So where can you fill up your cup of gratitude today and think about that throughout this cycle of even what are you grateful for to release, right? There's things that maybe you just have to say goodbye to and you're like, I'm kind of grateful that's not in my life anymore. I'm grateful that it served its time, it served its purpose, and I've actually grown from it. I actually don't need it anymore. Or I've risen above it. Or I no longer feel that way. I no longer even see myself that way. Like even on my gym journey, I don't know if you guys followed my Instagram, but Fedra. On my Instagram, like I praise my trainer all the time, but I used to find myself thinking so negatively about my body, about what I'm doing wrong. And like now when I look in the mirror, it gets better and better seeing my own uniqueness and appreciating that. That's a part of gratitude there too. Really seeing the beauty of you. And those strengths, those superpowers. So adopt an abundance mindset. Gratitude is the antidote to all our problems. It is impossible to be fearful and grateful at the same time. Grateful improves our health, opens our heart, and changes our state. The universal law of attraction says that we attract into our lives that on which we are focused. Focused on $1 million. I'm focused on $1 million. I'm gonna get the winning lottery ticket. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Okay, so close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and think of 3 things for which you are grateful for today. Notice the abundance growing within you. Okay, so I'm grateful for Michael pushing me to do this paid gig today at Kava Culture downtown Tampa, which was fabulous. I'm grateful for the free kratom that Colin gave us. Colin's a great bartender there. Go check him out. And I'm grateful for the lady that was cleaning the street in downtown Tampa, and Michael was playing some good tunes on the keys, and she was shaking her ass. I'll post that later, this video of her. But just seeing her all free, it just made my day. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for all of you watching. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? There it is. I was wondering if I'm gonna get a slap in the face soon. Okay. Ugh. Well, I was talking about how I want to be perfect, right? Like how, of course, I can't set the expectation of doing it perfect. Think about what high expectations you put on yourself that literally goes toward failure. Like you're setting yourself up for that unhappiness, that suffering. What's coming to mind? The expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for our soul, and it is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, my left ear is ringing. There's something here. Yeah, there's something to this. If you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. Okay, since I was talking about music, a dear friend of mine, Elizabeth, gave me these cards, and I have not used them on the channel yet. And I thought today would be perfect because I did the paid gig, so. And I actually did sing Amy Winehouse, and she's on the cover here. Music Oracle cards. So. And it's cool because it got records on them. Okay, which one did I pull? Ha! Of course I did. Of course I did. Tina Turner. It's not what happens that matters, it's how you deal with it. Purge your life of whatever brings you down. The most beautiful lotus blooms in the deepest mud. Wow. That is beautiful. Anybody like Tina Turner? Any songs that you like? But sometimes it's difficult to not to expect anything. Right? Vishal, yeah. It's about releasing those expectations so that way we don't feel disappointed. Rolling on a river, yeah, okay. Proud Mary. Let me pull a few more. I don't think one is gonna cut it right now. Ooh, Kurt Cobain. I used to have Kurt Cobain on my wall when I was a teenager. We're all in this mess together, so we may as well make some noise. Don't become your own tribute band. You can't buy teen spirit. Yeah, I really love the song Polly from Nirvana. I always imagine the parrot. But it's an underrated song. Everybody likes, you know, Smells Like Teen Spirit or Come As You Are. Like, everybody knows those. But Kurt Cobain was a Pisces. And he used to write a lot of poetry, and a lot of his poetry turned into his songs. He was, I believe, addicted to opioids and certain pills because he actually had scoliosis. A lot of people don't know that. He had like a curved back. Kiki Log, gracious greetings. Oh, hello. So it wasn't like he was just an addict to be an addict. Like, he was actually suffering in physical pain. And then he actually turned his issue into a trend. I don't know if you all knew that, but how he would like hunk down and like play guitar was not like, it was literally because his back hurt and then everybody was doing it. So maybe that's a superpower of yours that you should really think about, the way that you do things. Don't be ashamed of it. Because literally people will copy you one day. And that's the greatest form of flattery. Think about all those people that impersonate Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson. Like, they worship them, right? I mean, Tina Turner, my goodness. Talk about a leader, like going through a very abusive relationship and marriage and having children and being on the road and literally becoming a Buddhist, and how her spirituality released her from all of that, and then she totally transformed. She even took a hiatus off of that and then came back doing with What Love's Got to Do With It. That was a huge hit. Yeah, let's pull one more. Bjork. Devour life whole. Organize an orgy with the sky and the sea. Optimism is energy. I love this. It's got this like Japanese vibe. Dear Chamfra. Well, this is a collective reading. If you'd like a private reading, in the description I have my email and my socials, and you can contact me directly for a private reading. It's usually 30 minutes or an hour. It's up to you. But Bjork is very unique, right? We have to think about how this pertains to our gifts. You know, she used her gifts and her uniqueness to be that strength in representation of herself as an artist. I'm going to a drum circle tomorrow here in Treasure Island in Florida, and I am definitely going to be with the sea and the sky. If you haven't been to a hippie drum circle, you need to, because then you could just get down. You know, have no bra, open up the legs, dance, you know, sweat it out. If you're not near one, you need to make one. Just saying. Okay. Let's go to Moonology now. I need to bring these music ones out, right? That was really, really provocative. Icelandic, huh? Bjork, yeah. we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concreted effort to move toward your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state of mind. Follow your intuition. It won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream, or the person you're inquiring about is a soulmate, and avoid substance abuse. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the Nubius Pisces energies that have no borders, so feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It's also a time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. Waning moon. I love it with the snow. It's collective reading, Vishal, so it's all signs. The waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let go. No matter when in the moon cycle you pulled this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked, for better or for worse. It's time for you to go easier. It's the autumn and winter of this cycle, so what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. This card can be very positive, but it can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. It's safe to let go and move on. Move forward with as little resistance as possible. This is not the time to start new projects. Nope, I wouldn't. I would wait until Mercury goes direct, and I would wait until a few of these retrogrades pass. And you would have to consult with an astrologer, because I just do this as a hobby. Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Yeah, before the end of, by the 10th, yeah, tomorrow. Also part of Mercury retrograde is apologies. Do energetic work such as meditation or yoga. So that's now 2 cards that told us to meditate, everybody, and rest. Soon you will see what lies ahead. Okay, there you go, about the Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about truth, right? Your purpose and truth, so it will come. At the time of the waning cycle, take a moment to look up in the sky every night. You will see the moon growing smaller and smaller as she moves from full to new again. It's the time when things are falling away. It's certainly not the time to cling on to anyone or anything. Draw this card suggests that your situation is in the winter phase, so hunker down and start the regeneration process. We got new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. And we're just summing up you know, Mercury in retrograde, which is again of Mercury is ruled by Gemini and Virgo. A successful relationship usually comes down to one thing: communication. And the new moon in Gemini is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you could journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or a neighbor, there's a new start coming. A time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card can also suggest, I know, wow, Vishal, I knew I was hitting something. I just didn't want to say anything. You know, of course, one-to-one personal is more in depth and more detailed to the person and their energy. Since I am reading collectively, it's not possible. Right now, it's for everyone. But certain pinpoints will catch on just because of the energy that's here. I hope that makes sense. This card can also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Write a list of all the people you love most and see if you're prioritizing them. This kind of connects to that gratitude, right? I'm feeling that. Time to tell someone how you feel. Don't be all in your head and not in your heart. Someone is flirting with you. Who's flirting with me? Read more books. I want to, but I never have time. If we ain't got no time to sleep, how are we gonna read a book, y'all? Like, seriously. Gemini is the sign of communication and socializing of ideas and travel, and the energy around it and around this card, no matter when you pull it, is speedy, gossipy, and flirtatious. The new moon in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Gemini loves a chat. One thing to be aware of is that this card can also indicate being mentally scattered. Daily meditations will help to unscramble crossed wires in your brain. Okay, y'all, that is 3. That is 3 cards now saying for us to meditate. Just saying. Last card in Moonology is a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what somebody else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast, or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created this situation, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it can be fiery. The attunement is be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Right, Vishal? Okay. I think for the month of Sagittarius, you need to meditate. And I know, Michael, you're often scattered. Yep, already know that. But I am grateful for what you do remember and what you do. See how I'm turning it around, y'all. Being assertive is good. Just don't ride roughshod over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Okay, that's 4, y'all. It's gonna keep on going. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be the issue. And you need to have more fun. I totally agree. I totally need more fun. This week, while Michael has been here, I think we've had more fun and did more fun things than I've done most of this year. It's mostly been responsibility and work and discipline and all like and processing emotions and shadow work and and that's good. That's good. Don't get me wrong. Y'all need to do it because I'm just a little extra. Like if you watch Harry Potter, I am Hermione of Hogwarts, okay? So sometimes I do need to back off on my spirituality and just have more fun. But there's, I'm not perfect, right? I'm perfect by being imperfect and owning up to it. So yes, more fun, more music, more beach, more dancing, more kratom. We could always use more kratom. If you haven't tried kratom, you need to try it. The full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Thanks, Michael. I totally want to identify as the dragon from Shrek. I mean, she's completely pink, and she's got those long lashes, so that's cute. But yes, kratom is delicious. It is addictive. Take it in strides, but it can be delicious. So I just want to point out that a few of these cards overlapping, are really talking about relationships too. So if you're in a relationship during this full moon, this is a really great time, on that intimacy level to, again, first fill up your cup, first get some rest. I just want to remind that first, like fill up the rejuvenation. Then think about your uniqueness. Like what are your superhero actions, gifts, abilities that you can bring in your relationship? And then really think about what you're grateful for in that relationship, because I'm feeling between, some of these moon cards, it's really about intimacy here. And, in Aquarius, they're much intellectuals. They are very analytical in the way that they are and practical. So they're sometimes looked at as cold, but they're not cold at all. They're very loving, very devoted. And I just wanted to express that because I'm feeling that here. And even these artists, these particular artists, with the full moon in Pisces, and we have, Kurt Cobain here, very dreamy, and the communication, communication involves writing as well, and then we have, the expression of these emotions. Like if we don't release them, properly, they're going to explode. So it is about taking that responsibility of, again, regulating ourselves. Nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, let's see what that is. Oh, I love how you're comparing to Ron. Well, there you go. I guess I'm hitting that when it comes to that feelings of expression. Like, it's like you're in the the bumper cars, you know? You want to bump each other in a nice, fun way. You don't want to like bump where you're like throwing off onto the dang road, you know? You want to be kind and considerate of how they're going to take it. And you can be blunt and you can really state your truth, but understand that their truth is just as much of value as yours because you love them, because you want to invite them in. You don't want to just push them away. Yeah. And that does mean you have to remove certain masks that you wear, because everybody wears them at some point. And when you are more and more authentic, more secure in yourself, the less you wear those masks. But as you wear them, you know, when you're at work, when you're in front of family, not with your partner, right? You want to trust them. And that trust has to be earned and it has to be grown in levels. The worst thing about it is that when you lose that trust, it's very, very difficult to rebuild. But really owning up to what it is that needs to be said and saying it from a place of I feel. You know, that's why I always suggest therapy, whether it's individual therapy or couples therapy. It's nothing to be ashamed about. You don't need it just because you have problems. It's just learning how to communicate with that person. I love the book 5 Languages of Love. If you take their free quiz, you can learn the love language. And when you learn that, you can nourish those love languages, because chances are a lot of people have opposites. I've seen it very rare that people have the same love languages. And because of that, you think you're doing all these things. And then they're like, no, I don't feel love from you at all. In fact, I think like you're ignoring me. I don't feel like that resonates with me at all. Like, then what? It's like you feel like you've put in, but the person hasn't received it because that wasn't their love language. So it is that coming together, that balance. So definitely check that out. I think it's literally 5, like the number 5, lovelanguages.com. And the book is super thin, super light. Very helpful though, as a start, just saying. Thank you, Goddess. I agree. Couples therapy and watching tarot. There you go. And have some coffee or some kratom too. Okay, last card here. Mutable is all about change, shape-shifting, even that something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there's room for maneuver. And I was just mentioning bumper cards. That's hilarious. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer, just a wee bit longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone. This mantra for you is, I know that the best will unfold for me. You're meandering towards your goal, and that's okay. Staying adaptable is the key to success for now. Make sure you're not being led astray. Have you become distracted? Time to focus. Stay with it and whatever it means to you. Oh, it mentions a Sagittarius here. In astrology, there are 3 so-called quadruple C's: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The mutable signs are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. And when the moon is in one of these signs, you know there's going to be more flexibility in a situation. Anytime you pull this card, it suggests that the opportunity to keep visualizing and affirming what you want, as there's still room for change. So think about what you want and enjoy the daydream. So if you haven't watched the cheesy movie The Secret, it's usually on Netflix. You could find it on YouTube for free, actually. I would highly recommend it. And then they made a movie implementing The Secret. I think it's like Manifesting Dreams. It has Katie Holmes in it. It's really easy to find. But I would suggest to watch it, Vishal, if you're still here. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. Because that movie shows in real time how the relationships are and how the way that they communicate and the way that they say things ends up happening through the conversations within these relationships, and how some are influencing one another for good and for bad. And it's all everything anyway. It's not really good or bad, but I would highly recommend the movie. So I would just look up The Secret, and it's like The Secret sequel, but Katie Holmes is in it. It's very cheesy, put it as a background, but trust me, it's a great visual of how when you start to change your wording of things, you start to envision the positive or whatever it is you wish to attract, and then it will come to you. And it's always how you least expect it too, which is kind of funny. We have a few minutes, so I'm gonna do a fast tarot in this with all of these oracle cards and all of the music here. And it's gonna be tied in a bow. Gotta keep them to the side here. And again, if you like what you're watching, please like the video, share the video as a full moon reading for collectively for all signs. My name is Fedra. Again, if you want a private reading, you can contact me separately and we can make an appointment together and go on Zoom and get it going and get that clarity that you want. But if not, I do these moon cycles. They're always free. Donations are always appreciated. And I do every full moon and new moon cycle. And if you want to stay tuned to everything that I'm doing, music, Reiki, tarot, please like and subscribe and hit the bell button for everything, and then you'll be notified of what I'm doing. Whether you want to focus on my music and what I'm doing locally in Florida, or on tarot and Reiki and sound healing. Okay. So right now there's a little bit of turbulence. Turbulence in the sense that there's a bit of a fight. There's a bit of a training pattern for all of us here. We have 5 of Spears. You see how they're all like practicing and fighting, but they all don't know which way to go, right? They don't know which one is gonna win. They don't know which one is gonna lash first. So they're all in their defense. Like we're all kind of on our guard right now, right? And what's covering us is the Queen of Swords. This is Cersei in the Game of Thrones. As you all know, if you watch Game of Thrones, huge Game of Thrones fan, Cersei was brutal. She was very much in her intellect, her strategy, and she was very cunning, and she utilized her resources. She utilized the people around her. So think about that in your life in this full moon, on how you wish to identify, how you want to present yourself. Utilize the people around you and create a strategy that fits. But don't feel like you have to be on guard all the time. Understand that it's a training process. It's an obstacle course. Make it fun. It doesn't have to always be brutal. Page of Swords in the past, we did face some form of betrayal, some form of thief, some form of person that wasn't truthful. Again, was that us to ourselves? Because again, Aquarius is all about the self and the identity. Or was it someone in our most recent past that really, wore a mask and really wasn't, who they said they were? Realize that that's in your past and don't bring it into the future. Thank you for biting that fish haul. Yep, The Secret by Rhonda. What's coming to us is 2 of Spears. Those of us that are traveling, those of us that are moving ahead, we're seeing the growth coming into fruition. We're seeing, what we've accomplished and where we're going. We're starting to see it, So we're starting to believe it. What we buried in the past is the Queen of Coins. So we're getting more emotionally abundant. We're getting more wiser with our abundance. We're gathering, and looking at what we've learned as far as the give and take of abundance. Nine of Spears. Nine of Spears is also in our future as a form of ending a cycle. We're in the 9th year, we're in the 9th cycle, so it means we're getting to a completion portion. It means to be determined, strengthened, and boundaries, creative tension. You're in a strong position to defend rather than feel defensive. Hard work is taking its toll. You may feel exhausted by the sheer effort it's taken to get to this point. This card can also show keeping ideas to yourself because you fear criticism or a buildup of tension in creative projects. So again, it comes down to that foundation again, right? Where you're feeling this competitiveness, this like you're jumping through hoops. So keep in mind that these opportunities will come. And if you have to hold in certain projects, like do that. Get more comfortable in releasing what you're doing when you feel the time is right. Oh, and I feel blessed that you're here, Vishal. Thank you for watching and supporting me. I'm glad that it's giving you some food for thought, right? We need some advice. It's here when we're ready. We have 3 of Cups. Again, that's how we all see this moment right now. This is a time of celebration. This is a time of acknowledging ourselves. We're 8 months into the year. We're more than the halfway point, and we've seen, if we've done the work, we've seen a lot of things that we've accomplished, and we can own up to it. We can see our growth, which is great. And if you don't, you should. Definitely if you have, photos, go back in your phone and look at the things that you've done. Look at the people that you've seen and visited, places you've gone. Really acknowledge that. And don't take it for granted. Even if it's micro little moments, little projects, it's still growth. And definitely go and have a drink and celebrate. And if you have friends and family that have accomplished something, definitely celebrate with them this weekend. King of Swords. Now, some people, when you start really growing and shining and stepping in your truth and having boundaries, they don't like it. They start to say that you're ruthless, that you're cold as ice, that you're too solid, that you're not flexible, that you're not over giving to me now. And it's like, no, you've changed, you've developed, you've grown, you've seen who you really are and what you're capable of. And that's okay. If they're gonna put you being a villain because you care about your dreams and your passions and your life, sorry, not sorry? Really? I'm supporting you because boundaries are important. Ambition. This fiercely intelligent king is a decision maker and leader. He is highly strategic and, if necessary, ruthless. See, we have both, actually. So we have balance here in the queen and the king in the deck here for the spread. So there's women and men here that have potential for true strategy and true ruthlessness, if need be, to protect what is theirs and to own up to what they want to accomplish. Like, bros, like, really pat yourself on the back and really see that about yourself. You don't always have to do that to everybody, but if they overstep, you kind of need to knock them back in place in your life. It also talks about mind power, decisions, and justice, especially in the legal system. So if some of you are going through, court decisions, you will need to be really organized and firm in your decision making. So really make sure all the dots are dotted and the T's are crossed when it comes to that. Understand that there's no forgiveness at that point. Like, justice will be served. So hopefully you're on the right side of things. And what is to come? What is your outcome? Is balance. I know. I'm not trying to lecture. We did get 4 cards of meditation. We did get a card about rest. We did listen about the expectations that we put on ourselves and others that don't serve us. It did have us check into what we're grateful for. What are our strengths and how we can utilize them? This is how we're going to retain balance in this full moon. A part of that is understanding that nothing is set in stone. We need to visualize it. We need to communicate it to ourselves and to others. We need to regulate our emotions. We need to have a practical balance in our spiritual work and spiritual practices. Like, go big or go home, people. And realize that you need to release things. And it's okay. If you gotta scream in a pillow, if you gotta cry it out, if you gotta dance and shake your sexy patootie, go do it. You gotta get it out. Because I wouldn't want to face this guy unless I was armed, okay? Remember that. We are going to be competing with people in a certain way. I just think you all need to understand that you're actually competing with just you. Again, Aquarius. The fight in ourselves, the fights that we create are coming into our reality because that's how pissed off we are. That's how fearful we are. That's how angry we are. That's how hurtful we are to ourselves when we do not give ourselves self-love, when we don't put ourselves first. And in the future, we're having a fresh start. Ace of Coin. It all starts with 1, guys, as you know. Very fruitful time. New beginnings, success, clarity, insight. This ace reveals success and a breakthrough. With determination and clarity of purpose, you get what you want. In work, creative projects, and relationships, everything changes for the better when this ace comes into play. But there may be some level of confrontation to wield that awesome sword with care, right? Providing justice when justice is rightfully served and rightfully given. You reap what you sow. So if you have not done the work, justice is going on your ass. We are literally in the year of the snake. We are shedding things. Doesn't mean that all the time when we're shedding things that it's good. It means that things have come to a pile of shit, right? That the trash will take itself by the grace of God in the name of Jesus. So I hope all of you that are with me right now, are really hearing what I'm saying, because we are having a beautiful breakthrough because of this stress. But we gotta nurture ourselves so that we are focused and giving to us, and then we can really give on to others. Otherwise, we can become a tyrant. We can be controlling. We could be cold. We could be ruthless. And we could say, well, the other person had it coming, or it's their fault. And it's like, no, you need to hold accountability to you. I think I'll leave it there with the full moon to release that, because this is all us facing what we truly need to face. And then we won't see fear anymore. We're going to see the reflection of love. That everything is serving our best interest at the end of the day. I thank you all for coming to the full moon cycle in Aquarius. My name is Fedra. Once again, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please share it if you find anyone that it resonates with. I hope you get some rest. I hope I will too. If not, if you're in Florida, you can meet me at the Treasure Island Drum Circle. I will be there tomorrow. It's gonna be so great because I need to just chill on the beach with some sun and some sea and detox and reset. You will see me here again live on the new moon cycle. That will be coming up, and I will be tonight in the evening from like 8 to midnight. I will be at Heights Lounge in Florida doing an open mic there. If you'd like to hear me sing, again, write in the comments below to keep in touch. I will see you all soon. I send you love. Please know how powerful and amazing you are. Remember to be kind to others, be polite, take a breath. Be the change that you want to be. Bye, everybody.